One of my favorite video series of all time is Hodinkie's 3-on-3, where they feature 3 different watches and describe them a little bit. But today I wanted to do a 3-on-3, but do it a little bit different. Go head to head with my friend David. David, thank you so much for joining me.
All right, thanks for having me.
Picking 3 of our favorite watches currently in stock here at Burdeen's and putting our collections head to head. So let's get right into it. David, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, thanks.
I appreciate you taking the time. This is your first time back on YouTube since the old days.
Since back in the day.
Let's call it the old days, right?
Actually, I have a side hobby where I review toy trains. So find me on that. I have a collection of toy trains. It's called Train Dave.
You know, some people will take you seriously.
No.
So, David, I guess for those who kind of haven't followed your journey, since the last time they saw you on YouTube, can you talk a little bit about what you do here at Burdeen's Jewelry?
Sure, yeah. So I joined Burdeen's Jewelry in January of 2024, so going on a year and a half now. And I was brought in to kind of continue a bit of what, I've been known to do, which is, kind of straddle the line between pre-owned and new. So given my background in boutiques, high-end boutiques, they found a great space for me, which is the Vacheron Constantin boutique. I honestly feel like that place was built for me. And when I came to the U.S. To work in watches, 909 North Michigan Ave is essentially what I was looking for. So it's, match made in heaven.
I couldn't agree more. I think you're one of the most, how do I put it, like well-traveled individuals I've ever met. And Vacheron is a very seasoned brand. Like it takes a seasoned, discerned collector to appreciate the brand. And I think you're the perfect person, the perfect match to be obviously fitted. Now, obviously you sell new Vacheron timepieces as well as pre-owned ones. We're part of the CPO program, but you also do sell pre-owned watches here at Burdeen's as well, correct?
I do. I mean, this was really how I got into the hobby was just scouring Chrono 24, and in Switzerland we had something called Anybeast, which was kind of like a Craigslist, just scouring for the best deals. And I think if you remember, my old moniker used to be Deals by Dave.
Deals by Dave.
Very short-lived, but looking for the rare SKUs and especially the best prices was my kind of what made me tick. And the setting is amazing, really. There's nothing like this out here.
Yeah, totally. I totally would recommend if anybody's in the Chicago area, stop in my store on Oak Street. It's one of the best stores you'll ever see for pre-owned watches. Obviously, it's just a small selection because we have 4 stores in Chicago that have a bunch of watches all over the place. So yeah, I mean, without further ado, let's get into kind of our collection. So my kind of moniker, my idea and thought process behind my collection was to create one everyday watch, and then I'm more of a dressy guy. We wear a suit to work every day, so I appreciate a dress watch a little bit more. It's more my style. And so the other 2 watches that I took on a little bit more of a dressy aesthetic, but I think both are kind of really interesting from a mechanical standpoint, and that's kind of the way I approached it. I guess starting first with my everyday watch, something I can beat around, right? The perfect quintessential everyday watch, the timeless icon, and that is the Panda Daytona. I mean, what needs to be said that hasn't been said a million times? It's literally a perfect watch. You look down at this watch, you could wear it every day, suit, tie, t-shirt, beach, office, doesn't matter what setting, it's never out of place. And it's just that perfect design that makes it, the most desired, I would say, sports watch on the market. Certainly the best selling, I would say.
For sure, and I can't help but agree. We actually have another one in the case, and I was tempted to go pick that one up, but...
we have the new reference.
We have the new reference, exactly.
New reference. So this is a 116-500.
Yeah, correct. Honestly, that's the way I would have it. I'd have the 116-500 LN for the Panda, and then the 126-500 LN for the black dial.
Agreed.
Just because, it makes I feel like on the new ones, the bezel is just ever slightly too thin. And on this one, I think there's a nice balance. They really nailed the proportions.
Also, I think the sub-dials are a little bit weird. The proportions are weird with the bezel on the white dial as opposed to the black dial, which I like a little bit more. But yeah, I think this is the perfect first pick for around $28,000, $30,000. Obviously it's very expensive for what it is in theory, but I don't think you'll find a more iconic and I think better watch to wear every day.
For sure. Look, so integrated bracelets or integrated bracelet, we call it an integrated, kind of, not really, but steel bracelets. Let's call it there. I was trying to segue. Anyway, so for a steel everyday daily driver, I picked the ALS Zone. I'm Swiss German, but I can't speak any German. But Zone Odysseus in steel with the blue dial. I've just been enamored with this timepiece. Whenever I have an opportunity, I try to get some wrist time with it. But this baby, there's something about the very, very comfortable bracelet. Legibility's there. All your information for a daily driver is just phenomenal. And I just love the fit and finish, the tolerances of this watch. You know that it's going to follow your every just because of the tolerance. I mean, this really cool system here with the adjustable bracelet, you can't even tell that it's there. So this is it's a subtle piece that you can wear. So you mentioned dressy. I'm going to use a term that one of our other guys, sweater and jeans.
Sweater and jeans.
Okay. My whole collection here is a sweater and jeans watch, and jeans. And if you need to dress it up, throw a little Oxford shirt under your sweater, right? But ALS Odysseus in steel.
Yeah, perfect watch. I mean, you look at the other kind of Genta design sports watches with integrated bracelets that are really popular, the Nautilus, Royal Oak, and you can even go to the 222 or the Overseas. It's actually become one of my favorites. And I'll be honest, I used to dislike the Odysseus. My favorite is still to this day the white gold on the rubber strap.
For sure.
It's actually my personal favorite. The steel, I didn't love the look of the lugs with the integrated bracelet. I thought it always looked weird, but it's really grown on me. And on wrist, it's a phenomenal timepiece. Wears perfect. Great everyday watch because of the day-date as well.
And I'll say, and this is a little embarrassing, the first time I actually picked this watch up, I couldn't figure out how to change the date. I didn't know, because again, the tolerances are so tight. I mean, you can't tell that these are pushers up here, right?
Yep.
And I mean, maintaining that, and then what is this, 150 meters
I believe
water
150.
resistant? Yeah, I mean, with that movable part right there, it's insane. So.
Super, just easy to wear and perfect for every day. Well, I also picked a Longa, a little bit different in terms of format. Obviously, this is on a leather strap, no integrated bracelet, but to me, this is a very mechanically unique watch. There's just nothing else like it, and anybody who knows what it is or sees it on wrist, as a watch guy, right? And that is the ALS Zeitwerk. I did a video recently, maybe a year or so ago, talking about what I think are the top 5 most innovative watches. And I could go back even in the last 50 years, right? And I think this is easily in the top 5. I mean, the remotoir d'égalité used to change, to control the power change in the numerals themselves. I think the design is perfect, so subdued. It's literally as simple of a time format as you can get. So easy, so legible, and I think it's perfectly done. And in white gold with the black dial is my personal favorite variation.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say the tuxedo version, right?
Yeah, tuxedo. Yeah, it's a great way to describe
it. It's phenomenal. And I always show this. We have the platinum one, the platinum version, the new generation with the pusher on the side.
That changes the hour.
It changes the hour, exactly. And that's what I show that. I think definitely top 5, top 10 important watches in this century, right? So, or even going back longer. I love it. I love the chiming versions. It's just, they knocked it out the park.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. I think it's one of the greatest watches ever made. For those who follow watches and love watches, I think the Zeitwerk is universally loved and looked at as one of the greatest watches ever made. And I think for good reason. And this watch retail, I think the last retail, we used to be a Longa boutique. Rich told me it was like 130,000. Now, to be fair, this is, I think, watch only, and we're asking like mid to high 50s, 57, 58,000 for it.
Tremendous value.
Which I think is just an exceptional value. You're basically getting it for a fraction of the retail. And to be fair, the Zeitwerk date now, actually a friend of mine was just in a London boutique, is 121,000 pounds. So about 160,000 US.
Wow.
Unbelievable. It's crazy to think how the retail prices are.
For sure. This is the opportunity to have that experience, to own a significant timepiece, but actually do it in a responsible way. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So
I guess you're a heavy hitter.
Yes, my heavy hitter, right, is as well an important timepiece. 5270 Chi, Patek Philippe's their first in-house perpetual chronograph, right? Honestly, for me, would be the salmon dial, but this is just phenomenal and an amazing price point with the chin. Are you a chin or no chin?
I do. I don't mind either. I think the no chin is probably closer to 5970, which is kind of what I tend to like. Also, they made a 5270 no chin dial, but it was the outer just kind of railroad track, which is also nice. To be honest with you, I think that the value in the chin dial is just exceptional, and it's just really unbeatable.
No, for sure. This one, I believe we're just a smidge over $100,000.
Yeah.
And I think that's, it's incredible, right? Incredible value.
It's impossible to beat, really. And obviously, this is a watch-only example, so you can't really you can't really beat the value in that. So yeah, I think 5270, first in-house manual wine chronograph movement. Now, of course, if you're comparing 5970 versus 5270, I think most purists would go 5970, just because it's the first kind of modern size perpetual calendar chrono. But the 5270, I think, is historic because it's the first in-house chrono from them.
No, I agree. I mean, look at the sculpted lugs. It's just, this is a piece that could get you through, I would say, 80% of the time. Go from work to dinner to play. I mean, it's perfect. And I mean, this type of timepiece kind of welcomes the wearer to interact with it on a daily basis, right?
And it's mechanically very, very, very interesting. Again, I think if there's only one watch to own from Patek, you have an unlimited budget, you can only own one watch. A perpetual calendar chrono is top of the line.
Definitely.
You go back to the 1518, $24.99 and so on. There's nothing, I think, more historic and more Patek than a perpetual calendar chronograph.
Sure.
Well, I also picked a Patek Philippe, to be fair, and it's one I'm very biased because I'm actually wearing it on the wrist here. We have one available for sale at Berdeen's Jewelry. I got so many messages for this when it first appeared on the website. Like, are you selling yours? Are you selling yours? I'm like, no, I still have mine. I'm still keeping mine. I absolutely adore this watch. The 5235R regulator dial annual calendar with, of course, that incredible micro order movement. The first micro order movement they made outside of the 240 and 324 base movements for a calendar movement, using a ton of the advanced research components. Gyro max balance, gyro max balance, Spire max balance spring, a bunch of other components, Pulsamax escapement. I think there's so many different little components, and the case itself, right, with these kind of squared lugs, is one of my favorite. I think it goes back to the references at 3448, the first serially produced perpetual calendar, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I think it's one of the most beautiful watches, rose gold with the black and the graphite dial.
I agree. Yeah, no.
I mean, listen, there's a reason why I own it.
Phenomenal piece. Let's put that over here, and then just do 4. No, phenomenal. I mean, this version, I love the typeface they used on the buckle. I like buckles. I don't know, because you really interact with your buckle more than you would your crown, right?
Totally.
So I really do love the buckle. I love this typeface that they did.
100%.
I love the G. I love the G. I think it's having that blue dial.
The white gold is not as nice, I think.
I like it too. But no, this is really
I just
sharp.
don't think. And to be fair, I've handled both. I thought I was going to get the white gold. I was always a white metal guy, but this one in person just blows the white gold away.
No,
I think so.
For sure.
My opinion.
And this is actually it draws some of the same energy to that 4020T, the rose gold.
Yes,
yeah,
you're right.
It's a similar
the
Vacheron traditional 4020T, and it's kind of it has a similar vibe ethos, and I think the dimensions are quite similar too.
Which is also a beautiful watch. The open work version is one of my favorites.
It is, phenomenal.
Well, you also have a rose gold timepiece.
I do have a rose gold timepiece.
Something totally different.
And Rolex wouldn't be my first drop, but then when I was actually walking around the showroom, I was thinking, and my eye kept coming back to this Day-Date Olive, right? If you're going to have one watch, a Day-Date will get you through.
It's hard to pick against a Rolex and hard to pick against a Day-Date.
A Day-Date, right?
Yeah.
And I just think this green Day-Date, it's its ultimate form, right? There's really... Yeah,
Which is perfect.
It's perfect. There's nothing to say.
Yeah, there's really nothing to say. I mean, it's the icon. It's the flagship model from Rolex with the anniversary green dial.
Yeah.
I mean, I own one Rolex. It's a GMT Master 2, and I've owned pretty much every other Rolex at this point, other than a Panda Daytona in this kind of particular variation, which I'd love to own at some point. But I know it would never stay in my collection. I just know that if I was to own any other Rolex, it would be exactly that. And rose gold doesn't even particularly look good on my skin because I'm very white. So technically yellow should be, I'm so pale that yellow gold should be my choice of metal, but this is just so beautiful that it's, man, I would love to own this one day.
But yeah, it hits different.
Oh,
this one, they really knocked it out the park.
Now, funny, because your 3 watches all have calendar complications and you have 2 Day-Dates. I don't know how I feel about that, Dave. But if we're picking hairs, right, if we're putting the viewers'
was it supposed to be band for band? What are we doing?
I don't know. If I'm thinking, who has the better collection?
I like to know what date
I would choose myself, personally.
I'm a forgetful individual. I need to know. These things need to remind me. They're tools at the end of the day.
That is very true. Well, I guess let's turn it over to the viewers. Who do you think wins out in this 3-on-3? My collection of a 5235R, the Zeitwerk, and a Panda Daytona, or David's collection, the Rolex Day-Date rose gold with the anniversary olive dial, 5270G chin dial, and of course the Longo Odysseus with a blue dial. Love to get your feedback down in the comments below. Or would you mix and match these 2 collections to make your kind of perfect collection? I think mine is perfect as is. I'd love it.
I'm keeping mine.
Awesome. David, what a pleasure. As always, my brother, thank you so much for joining me. It was so great to see you back on YouTube, and hopefully we'll have you again very, very soon. in the next video.
In the next video.
In the next video. We'll see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed this, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe for more videos like this in the future. If you want to follow David, I'll put his Instagram down in the comments below, Swiss Delta, so you can follow him over there. As always, my name is Marco for Verdine's Jewelry. I'll see you all in the next one.